very nerve-wracked, if you know what I mean. Well, someone who's never nerve-wracked is Sylvester McCoy, and he's with us this morning in the heart of Sherwood Forest in Nottingham, looking very suave, if I may say so, in your dark glasses.
Oh, thank you. Yes, they're just hiding the bags from this week.
Oh, you see, being a star, you know, you get sort of jet lag bags under your eyes, do you?
Well, it's getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning and trying to do
No, he looks great, doesn't he? Yeah, doesn't he? Sylvester, could you just take us through what your role is exactly in What's Your Story?
Well, I mean, I'm the kind of presenter and storyteller, really. And if anything goes wrong, I've got to fill out or cut it short. I've never done anything like that. You do it all the time. I'm full of admiration for you lot. Because you have things in your ear and people talk down to you and people are going, counting you in and saying, stretch or wind up.
But from all the things that you've...
making signs at me.
But from all the things that you've done in the past, though, surely this is the ideal thing for you, because you... I mean, I know that when I was sort of learning how to do things, you were one of the people who you used to think about as being one of the best improvisers. That is sort of making it up as you go along.
Yes.
Because that's what you did in theatre, isn't it?
Well, that and many other things, improvise and learn. But this, funnily enough, is structured that you have to learn a lot of it. Because we want to make it look as professional and as the best that we can possibly give. And
in all honesty, do you actually play it the way it comes in on the phones?
Well, no, what happens is that we want to get in as many ideas as possible, so we take different ideas from various children, usually about 15 on average, I think, and then our pet writer, Peter Corey, sits up all night sticking them all together, and then on 7 o'clock in the morning at breakfast we're given it, and we learn it and put it on by 4:15.
Last week was a great success. You blew nearly all the phones in British Telecom, apparently. They put it all right now, and you're ready to take more calls next week, aren't you, to decide on the 4 different storylines now?
Well, yes, we've changed it because we had over 500,000 phone calls this week, and not everyone could get through, and we found that was a great disappointment. So what we've decided to do is that we'll take, after the first show, which, you know, after the very first bit, we'll take all the ideas, and then we'll decide before 5:30 the best ideas, the 4 best. Yeah, that's good, I can still count. The 4 best ideas, and then we'll ask everyone to vote on them. Which ones should go into the next day's story? And there'll be another 500,000 people trying to get through to say that one, mine.
All thinking that it's their idea, which is the best
we want
thing.
as many people to get involved as possible.
Now, we've got some chaps and chapesses behind us, and let's go to Michelle. Where's Michelle? Here. Michelle, you've got a question.
Has anything gone wrong yet on What's Your Story?
Yes. I was talking to camera just like this, and trying to remember desperately what the story was, when suddenly people started rushing behind the camera all over the place because the camera had gone down and they were going for the next shot and there was no camera there to shoot it. And they were having nervous breakdowns. That was a nerve-wracking. And then another one was when we had a little short link and they suddenly realized that the actors and the cameras on one end of the studio and the other part of the set was in the other. And the man was saying, stretch. So suddenly I started talking very slowly, and then he said, and then I had to talk up again. But nothing disastrous has gone wrong yet. I mean, anything could go wrong. I mean, I just look out there and think, if someone could slip and, you know, fall over and they wouldn't be able to get onto the set. It's quite nerve-wracking, but wonderful, exciting.
Let's go back a bit now. Where's David?
Back a bit. Are you back?
How did you get into acting and why?
I don't know.
In a nutshell, Sylvester.
A lot of people ask that question. Why, really? How did I get in? I was working in a box office in the Roundhouse in London, and a director came in and thought I was an actor. Someone had said he's an actor, so he said, I've got this job, do you want to do it? And I said, yes. And they still haven't found out. I'm still working.
And you're still getting away with it. Let's go to Robert now. Where's Robert?
Have you got any other ambitions other than acting?
Are there any other ambitions other than acting? I don't know, really. I think I might quite like to direct. That's the end of my career. I don't know. I quite enjoy acting. I did, because I worked in the City of London before I became an actor. I've done other jobs outside, and I know what they're like. And I think this is much more fun.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Sylvester is going to be joining us a little bit later on this morning. You can phone your questions through to him if you'll come back. Will you come back?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Have a quick swim and then...
Have a quick swim and then come back. Phone Sylvester on 01 811 855 with any other questions you have for him, OK?
Can I just jump in for a second there?
What's the problem?
Well, it's actually time for us to hand over to Television Centre now, in London, where Mike Smart is going to give us...
Inside.
Oh, good. So even you fit inside it then, Sylvester. Doctor
Yes,
Who.
even I.
Welcome back, this time as Doctor Who.
Yes. very hot in here, isn't it?
It's warm.
Especially
I was
this
thinking
outfit.
how warm you must be because you've got your jumper on and your hat on, and these hats get
And this place on the outside looks like something from outer space, so I feel very at home in here.
good. And this is a lot smaller on the inside than this is on the outside. It feels it anyway.
Yeah, it looks
Can I say how relieved I am to see you? Because the last time I saw you on the telly, you were about to be chewed up by a giant licorice all sorts.
Yes, I suppose that's the sweetie's revenge.
I mean, I thought that was wonderful. That big licorice all that was. Oh, no.
Rock with a golden music right on.
I'm sorry, Sylvester. I don't
They
know
have
who
that
they
effect on
are, but
everybody.
they come in every week.
Yes.
They spoil items. They
Yeah.
put in these things that they think are funny. I don't know what it's about. We're trying to think of names for them, and we can't. Perhaps you can.
Maybe
Perhaps you can think of a good name for them.
Yes.
I had a chat with Sophie Aldred a few weeks ago.
I know that
met
name.
her. I met her.
I met that girl.
And she is your accomplice.
Yes, my companion,
On,
yes.
on Doctor Who, your companion. And she was saying what she had enjoyed it so much doing the series. And I guess it must be very, very important that you do enjoy what you're doing and that you two get on.
Oh, yes,
as
we always...
partners in crime.
In public, we get on, anyway. No, we do. We get on really well. And she's great fun working with her. The only thing I hate about her is that she always wants to do all the stunts. So there's a great battle goes on. I say, I want to do it. No, I want to swing down that rope. And she says, no, I want to do it.
Well, I
And
thought there would be plenty between you.
Well,
And
yes, we're
can I
trying
say
to
how
get
nice
lots
it is to have... Because now Doctor Who's friend, Doctor Who's accomplice, doesn't spend all the time running about screaming, which has always been in the script in the
very
past,
nice.
and now that's changed. Now
Yes,
you run about
that's
screaming,
good.
which is nice. And now we've got some sensible questions for you, Sylvester.
Really? No, these are quite
Let's
sensible.
first of all go to people with towels behind us. They're not a new sort of... A new
Really?
breed of people from another
Yes.
planet, the towel planet. They have, in
Okay.
fact, just come out of the pool. And let's first of all go to Melanie, who's got a question for you.
How many Doctor Who's have there been?
how many Doctor Who's? Well, 7 on the television. 7 Doctor Who's.
Mustn't give away too much because we've got a competition coming up later
Okay,
on, and
no,
that may
we'll have
give
to
away
name them.
some of the answer. Who's Christopher? Which one of you is Christopher?
I've heard that there is a Doctor Who fan club. Are the members of the fan club obsessed with the programme?
Well, I suppose they are in a way, yes. They're obsessed. There are many clubs all over the world. And they watch it. In America, they watch it all the time, like every day, every night, and weekends. They have conventions where they go and watch 48 hours of Doctor Who. You should see them when they come out.
They look a bit like the giant licorice
Yes.
all sort monster with their eyes going round and
Yes.
round, I should think, don't they?
Exactly, yes.
But I was only ever in one episode of Doctor Who a few years ago. I was killed off in the first episode. I was a very ugly monster. Obviously, I wasn't working very well. But having been in one episode, I got letters from people all over the world as they see that episode of Doctor Who,
Yes.
wanting to know what it was like being a Cryon. And I think people do follow that programme probably more closely than any other programme that's shown
Well,
on
it seems to have
television.
a vast post bag, and I got sore hand from writing all the letters back.
And you have to, do you deal with all the letters that
Yes,
come in?
once a month. My house is taken over with letters.
Before we go to the phones to
Lovely.
take some calls, let's go to Ewan, because he's got a question for you.
Which of the monsters do you like best in Doctor Who?
Which monster do I like best? Monsters. Well, it's difficult to say, really, because I haven't met too many in my short tenure. But the ones, my favourite character as monsters, very friendly monsters, are in this present story. You only got a quick glimpse of their eyes as they popped up from below ground in the first episode. I think they're wonderful, those creatures. Absolutely wonderful. I won't give away the
I
name.
quite like the ones that look more human and then turn out to be sort of
Yes.
weird. I think that has a very strange effect. Let's see if we've got any calls on the phones. I wish you luck with the phone because it may work.
Hello.
Yeah, and it may not.
Hello.
Let's see who's on the line.
Anybody?
Hello?
Hello, who are you?
I'm Nicholas Williams.
Hello, Nicholas.
Hello, Mr. Williams.
What's your question?
John Mason Turner, the producer, for about the last 8 years,
Yes.
has introduced quite an element of comedy into Doctor Who.
Yes.
And I was wondering, would Sylvester prefer the new producer to bring back more sort of horror and suspense to the old programme?
Well, the thing is, I think you're talking about last season, which was more comedic than perhaps many others. And there's a reason for that, because the season was written for an unknown doctor. Then when I got the job, because my instincts are comic, I went for that choice. But then when we'd finished the season, we all sat down and chatted about it and thought that the doctor should be much more mysterious and more dangerous. And that is, in fact, what we're trying to get now. I think you must agree that the one with the Daleks was like that. It was much more serious. And we're going that way slowly. But things develop, you see. They don't actually happen ever so quickly overnight. We've got to learn, I've got to learn how the doctor works. And the new writers have got to learn about me. And we're going the way you want.
Yeah.
So maybe you should be the new producer.
I think you'd probably like that, wouldn't you, Nicholas?
Yeah, I would, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, got your name down for the future. Let's go to the next caller now. Who is on line 2?
Hello?
Hello. What's your name?
Paul Phillips.
Hello, Paul. Question to Doctor Who, Sylvester.
Hello, Paul.
Hello? Is the TARDIS really as big as it looks inside?
Is the TARDIS really as big as it looks inside? Well, yes. It does look that way inside, but I've been inside. You haven't. Ah.
Thanks, Sylvester.
There you go. I'm not giving that one away.
Right, who's next? Who's
Hello?
on line 3? Hello.
Hi, it's Duncan Jones.
You're
Oh,
cracking
you're
up.
breaking up. It's someone called Duncan.
Duncan?
Hello.
Hi, Sylvester.
Yes?
Do you like the clothes you have to wear as Doctor Who?
Do I like
the clothes?
I have to wear as Doctor Who? Do I like them? Well, yes, I do, really, because I had something to do with the design of them. The hat is... I actually wore a hat like this to the audition for the part as Doctor Who, and they liked the hat so much, they said, well, we'll give you the job with it. So that's how I got the job, so I'm quite fond of the hat. The coat, I wanted a baggy coat with lots of pockets so I could keep my script in it, and various things like that. Yes, I do like it. Do you?
Yeah, I think you look much better than the other Doctor Who.
Thank you very
You
much.
couldn't have said a better thing. Thank you very much, and thank you for those calls.
Bye.
Sylvester, you've got a competition, haven't you?
Oh, yes, I have, a competition. Yes, where are you? Which camera am I on? I'll give you this competition. 22 years, exactly 22 years ago, the second Doctor walked out of the TARDIS. Now, I want you to write in or phone in and tell us what was the actor's name? The second Doctor.
The name of the second Doctor, and it's actually is exactly to the day, isn't it?
Today, yes, so
November the 5th, 22 years ago.
He walked
that
outside. He walked out of the TARDIS. What is his name?
And what are the prizes?
The prizes. Now, the prizes are a wonderful book, 25 years history of Doctor Who. Then there's the you build your own TARDIS. Here's one here. There we are. There they are. Build your own TARDIS. There's the book. And then the third prize, or the first prize, or the second, I don't know where it comes, is a trip to the studio next season to watch us make Doctor Who and meet me.
Brilliant. So if you know the answer, who is
So
the
try and win
second
the other
Doctor
ones.
Who, put them on a postcard and send your answers to Going Live, BBC TV Centre, London W12 8QT. That's BBC TV Centre, London W12 8QT.